Okay, guys, here we go. So tonight we're going to be talking about thieves, all things thieves. When I thought of this class, I thought, well, I have this little bottle and about 20 different products we can talk about, and that can get a little dry because, we know the oils and thieves, we know about all the products, and then I started diving in and doing a little bit more research to make this that much more exciting. And I'm going to tell you what, hold on to your hats because it's about to get real. I might get feisty. I'm just warning you. You are fair warned, because if you're watching this later on a replay and someone said, hey, you got to watch this class, they're not the ones being feisty with you. It's me. I told them, hey, send this to your friend who has, and I'm going to name off a whole bunch of issues. And here's why, guys. I'm going to start off by saying this information is for educational purposes only. I am not here to treat, diagnose, cure, whatever, anything that you may have. But I will talk about symptoms and issues that are likely stemming from what we're talking about today. Okay, so if you are also, again, if you're watching this later, maybe push pause and just go ahead and text the person who sent this to you. Thanks, because I know you love me, because that's the truth, guys. That is the truth. All right, here we go. So thieves, all things thieves. I could go on and on and on and on about thieves, and here's the deal. We talk so much about the premium starter kit in Young Living. If you work Young Living as a business, very likely you're telling people all the oils. You need this oil, you need stress away, you need frankincense, you need all these things. And rightfully so. They're amazing, amazing. But you guys, here's the deal. We are doing our friends, listen, hear me. This is for people who share Young Living, and where I really feel like everyone should share Young Living, let's be real. But I believe everybody should start off with the Thieves Starter Kit. We should stop being PSK pushers and start sharing the Thieves Kit. And here's why. Oh, and the laundry soap, which I'll show you in a minute. The importance of thieves is beyond critical. This deals with issues of toxicity, guys. Here's the thing. We share maybe thieves oil with people. We roll at them with a little bit of stress away. They look all stressed out at the market, and we're like, here, take them. Oh, you know what you need? You need the whole kit. You need 11 oils that you do not know what to do with, but that's okay. You're going to be all right. We're going to walk you through this. And here's the deal, guys. You can have a mom with a kid who's got all these bing, 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 bing things, and we're sharing with them frankincense and cedarwood and stress away and peace and calming, and it might work, but their kid still has a thing. And the problem is, it's what they're putting on their bodies. It's what they're cleaning their home with. It's what they're putting on their hands before they eat their lunch or use the wipes or what have you. If you don't know, you, the universal you, don't know that some of the food that we are eating is toxic, then very likely you've either been living in a cave or in the deepest jungles of Africa, or you just simply don't care, right? Because let's be real, everybody now knows, all right, some food we eat is just not savory. And we just choose to turn a blind eye, or it's okay, I love that Mike's pastry, I don't really care how sugary it is for my body. I do, but it's really tasty. But the challenge is that we don't understand that there's toxic chemicals that get on us, on our kids, and on our pets. Guys, that is so dangerous. I would rather, this is from a plant eater, I would rather people eat buckets of bacon and all the soda, not really, but let's just pretend, and all that, and get the toxins out of their home versus eat completely clean, 100% plant-based, but still clean with Fabuloso and spray with Febreze and do Lysol on their, when their kids are sick. This is what we're doing. What we don't realize is that what we're putting on our skin, and more specifically our kids, guys, for children, we are changing their DNA for generations to come. That's a whole nother class for another day. If you want to do your own research, I highly recommend it. But when we use something like Purell or hand sanitizer, guys, it strips the DNA right off your skin, right off your body. And it literally changes the DNA from the inside out. And so as you have more children, or for their children, and on it goes, you are changing the DNA for generations to come. So let's take just a look at typical household products, right? And let's just pretend, because maybe some of you guys, especially that use oils, you say, well, Jen, I thought, anything that has fragrance is bad. You're absolutely right. If you have the Think Dirty app, you'll notice, anything that rates like a 8, 9, and 10, where it's, higher toxicity, carcinogenicity, sorry, sometimes I get that all mixed. You'll notice that the number one ingredient that makes it very sinister is fragrance. So if you take out the fragrance and it's fragrance-free, you think, well, no harm, no foul, right? Especially if it says natural. But here's the rub. We take out the fragrance and the toxins that create that smell, and what you have is a foundation, a base of chemicals that are called xenoestrogens. So if you guys look that up, it starts with an X, that xeno, right? It's a chemical component that mimics hormones. I'll say that again because I feel like somebody needs to hear this and you need to write this down. Xenoestrogens, it's a chemical component that mimics hormones. So this is what's found in our household cleaning products, in our laundry detergent. It's found in our toothpaste. I've asked folks, just over the years, like, what keeps you from, using Thieves or whatever? And there's several things. And, one of the things is like, well, it's just not cost effective. And I'm like, they're concentrate. So, okay, that aside, it's hard to get that across. And yet I think, my word, so you would rather use a $2 or $3 toothpaste and mimic estrogen and get breast cancer and have your boys grow boobs and possibly get breast cancer than spend another $1. It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, and P.S. it's concentrated. Our society is so estrogen dominant, guys, it's frightening. If you see, and in fact, I've taught my kids, and we're not being ugly at all, but we've talked so much about extra estrogen in the body and keeping our bodies free of toxin and free of being clean, and what it looks like to their eyes. And here's the thing, when you see little kids that are chubby and boys that have the boobs, I don't mean to be graphic, but do you know what I mean? Like little boys that, like when I was in school, there were the kids, they just had the baby fat, and they were 13, 14, they just hadn't quite fleshed it all out yet. This is like younger, I think of that little girl, what's the show with the mom? Honey Boo Boo, right? She was estrogen and probably still is estrogen dominant. You can just tell by her body shape and structure. But they're not an isolated incident. Our culture, if you guys go to any park, any mall, you'll see so many estrogen dominant people. It's frightening. And all people would need to do to get rid of, to not be estrogen dominant, is get rid of their toxic chemicals in their home. And that would start to see a huge decrease in estrogen in their body. As you guys are very aware, getting breast cancer is almost like catching the common cold. So many people have it. And I will not get on my big pharma soapbox or my Susan G. Komen soapbox because I don't want to make anybody super mad, because all I'm saying is it's a business, friends. And rather than tell you, get rid of your crappy household cleaner, they're like, oh, go on a 60-mile walk and let's find a cure for breast cancer. I found one. Stop using the crap in your house. How about that? And I say this as lovingly as I can. And as you know, if you don't, maybe you don't know me, but hopefully your friend who shared this with you told you my kid had cancer. So I'm well versed in the cancer world. I'm not just being ugly for no reason. People are inundated daily with toxins. And there is such a toxin load coming into their bodies, it's ridiculous. And into our kids, guys. If you don't have kids, here's me. You know someone who does. Be a pal and share this information with them. And here's the thing. We talk to people about rubbing oils on their feet, the bottoms of their feet, or we do it. We think, okay, I'm going to rub it on my feet. Why? Because it gets into our bloodstream quicker, right? Quickest way into your body. And yet, these same folks wash their floor, their beautiful wood floor, with Pine Sol, with, I don't even know what else is out there. It's been so long, with whatever. And we walk on that, or our pets walk on it, or our kids, or our friends' kids, if we don't have kids. And now, just as quickly as those oils get into our bodies, so are those chemicals now getting into our bodies and the people we love around us. So how do you know if you're estrogen dominant? There's just a few things, and if you're in our oily group, I posted it today, so I'll just run through a couple things. Possibly hair loss, thinning of hair and eyebrows. On a side note, I spoke to someone today who mentioned that, yeah, as soon as they started fixing these things, the hair and the eyebrows started growing back. No doctor in the world is going to tell you, well, chances are your hair is falling out, your eyebrows are falling out because you're estrogen dominant. But here's something for you. We're going to fix something. We're going to remove something. Anything that they want to remove in your body, guys, it's not an accessory organ. God did not give us body parts and we're like, oh, whoops. You know what? That was you really didn't need that. There is nothing in our body that we don't need. Can I just say that again? There's nothing in our body that we don't need. Okay, so depression and anxiety. I talk to so many people all day long who struggle with depression, who struggle with anxiety, and chances are they're estrogen dominant. Mood swings, irritability, trouble falling asleep, and then frequently waking up. Guys, this isn't just, this isn't isolated to women. I know a lot of these we would be like, oh, those are women issues. I got news for you. I'm married to somebody who used to be depressed, who used to have anxiety, who used to have terrible mood swings and irritability, trouble sleeping, sleep apnea, all these things. Some other things, increased PMS. That is not my husband, by the way, or any man that I know, but I'm just wanting to say now we're moving into women. Premature puberty, anything really under 13 is not normal. PCOS, infertility, low libido, water retention, and bloating, fat gain. Guys, I'm not saying excessive weight gain. I'm talking about actual, well, that is fat, but really fat areas. So around the hips and the thighs specifically. If you've ever seen somebody and they're shaped just really, really pear-shaped, maybe their pear shape has been accentuated, chances are they're estrogen dominant. And then accelerated aging, premature wrinkling, premature graying of hair, which makes me a little nervous because my hair went gray when I was 22. So I'm like, wow, back then, chances are that was an issue. I am vain. I can't help myself. One of the biggest things, here's the thing. A lot of toxins we can't control. I can't control that my neighbors use fertilizer. And I can't control that maybe every single person in the Boston area smokes a cigarette except for our family. But what I can control is our household cleaner and our laundry soap. I can control that. If we want to take charge, we must look at the chemicals that we're pouring on ourselves, you know, lotions, lotions, potions, that sort of thing, our laundry soap, and our household cleaners. If we don't do this, if we don't take charge, hear me. Here's when I get feisty. Buckle up, Buttercup. It would be like pouring yourself a cup of bleach for breakfast every day, or your child. Now, raise your hand if you would do that. Chances are nobody would be like, here's a cup of chemicals, and we laugh at that and think, oh, Jen, that's just extreme. It's not. Guys, every time we put we willingly put something that has a xenoestrogen in it or some sort of chemical, something that's a hormone disruptor, it's like we might as well just be chugging it back with our coffee or with our smoothie or whatever. It's the same thing if we don't switch up our laundry. If we don't switch up our laundry soap, take out the fabric softener, the sheets, all of that stuff, it's the same thing as if we were just pouring toxins all over our bedding and then just rolling around in it. Guys, this is our biggest organ. Please hear me. My son had melanoma at age 9. This is not normal. But when we spoke to the specialist a couple years later, he said, you know, melanoma in children is actually on the rise. And they were big advocates for sunscreen and all this. And I'm thinking, that's going to give them, it's proven that actually sunscreen does give people cancer. It's another class for another day. If you can remove these toxins first out of your home, you give your body a chance to just detox. Our bodies naturally are designed to detox, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but even just eating a simple salad, your body just flushes out normally. Just drinking pure water flushes your body. So dream with me for a minute, will you? If you think about it, if somebody took out toxins from their home, right? And they didn't do anything else. They didn't use oils. They didn't use Thieves. Can you imagine in 30 days, just by drinking water, how their body would feel so much better. It would be remarkable if they stopped using lotion that was toxic, if they stopped putting deodorant on that was clogging up their lymph nodes, right? But here's the deal. You can take out those toxins so simply with Thieves. We'll get to that in a minute. And then you work on your symptoms. Okay? What we do is bass backwards, right? We treat the symptoms and we don't remove the thing that's causing it. And we're like, I can't get better. I'm just always tired. No. And it's like, no, stop the nonsense. And the symptoms very likely will fade or minimize, or you can have clarity of mind to go, oh, I can just do such and such, right? The number one thing we can start doing is getting rid of the estrogen, estrogen, and change your family's health and your health for generations to come, guys, for generations. This is akin to saving up a huge inheritance and passing it on to your kids. Guys, we leave a legacy. We leave a footprint. Whether we have children or not, we leave a legacy. You know, if you have a huge circle, a network of friends, when they come over, when they come in, you want to bless them. You want to make sure that they're coming into the safest environment as possible. That's just being nice. There's 3 areas that you can do this. Write these down. 3 biggest places where you're getting the most toxins and you want to get rid of these quickly. Your kitchen, your laundry room, and your bathroom. Now, I got 2 of my faves right here. My household cleaner, and then my laundry soap. This is a game changer, guys. This little bottle is 64 ounces, 64 loads. It's not 64 ounces. Please forgive me. I can't even read that. It's 32 ounces. 32 ounces. I was the mom that bought the ginormous thing of Tide at the Costco because I had a bunch of kids. And after all, I have all these kids, and I got to do all this laundry. And so you have to use buckets of Tide because it's crap, and so you have to use so much of it to get your clothes actually clean. And here, so when they came out with this, I'm like, are you serious, Young Living? This is going to last me a week. You guys, this bottle lasts my family of 7 a month, sometimes more. And we have a pool now, and so, you know, kids and pool towels, they just go through it like whatever, and so I'm always doing towels. But we only use a half a cap. Everything of Young Living's is very concentrated. This says 64 loads. I'll squeak it out to 74 or 80 loads. I promise you that. And it gets amazingly clean. Amazingly clean. So if you switch out kitchen, laundry room, and bathroom, easy. Done. This bottle of Thieves cleaner, the household cleaner, it's 14 ounces. It's $22.50, $22.25, something like that. And, you know, some people are like, whoa, hey, Jen Weir, you know, I see you with that platinum money. Guys, this is concentrated, just like I said. You use the cap, just a cap, in a 32-ounce spray bottle like this, and you get about 28 uses out of that. So you can do the math, but it's a little bit less than $1. If you're a frequent Dollar General visitor, a dollar store visitor, you cannot find even toxic household cleaner. And you can clean so many things. If you're on We're Oily, just go back and you know, you can see what you can clean. We're going to run through a couple things tonight. So those 3 areas, what if you switched out? What if your family switched that out? And here's the thing, guys. I see my mom on here, and I already told her about this with her husband, and he's so like, man, I like my Tide. You know, he's a good old Southern boy and all this. And I said, look, can you just say, do it for me? I don't care if you die young. That's just you. Well, he's not young, right? But, you know, whatever. Can you just do it for me? So if you have someone in your home that's resistant, say, look, I get that you don't believe this, but what if I'm right? Right? I've watched way too many friends lose their battle with cancer, lose loved ones from that. What if all they needed to do was switch out chemicals? You never know. Okay, so Thieves. Let's talk about Thieves. I love this story about how the idea, the formula for Thieves came. Many of you guys know this story, but what I love is if you are familiar at all with the ancient oils of Scripture, there is this isn't in the collection with Young Living, but Exodus 2 is akin, it's like Thieves on steroids, okay? It has the blend, the recipe is from the holy anointing oil in scripture, and it's very powerful. It's referenced several times, many times. One in particular is when Aaron douses himself as the children of Israel acting like fools, and God punishes them, and they're dying of what historians believe would be like the bubonic plague. And so they douse themselves with this anointing oil, or heated rather. Aaron did, and he stood like almost like a human diffuser between the plague and the children of Israel. It was symbolic, but it was also healing. It's incredible. If you want, what I love is when people say, how do you use this? I don't, look in the Bible. It'll tell you how to use your oils. I promise you. They did everything with them, by the way. They put it on their bread. They put it on over their bodies, their hair. Okay, I digress. Now I'm talking about the Bible. Let's talk about thieves. So it all started, this formula, or the idea from it, came in the Dark Ages. Thieves essential oil contains cinnamon. And I said Exodus 2 because cinnamon Thieves and Exodus 2 both have cinnamon in it. And they are it's a very powerful oil. During the Dark Ages of Europe, there were several great plagues. You know, we talk about the Black Plague and a third of Europe died. There was actually several plagues in that time. I'm kind of a history nerd, and so you'll have to forgive me if I get a little detailed because it's fascinating to me. And here's the other thing. If these people had to just wash their hands, most of them would have lived. So it was a fatal epidemic, and they were so contagious that when people died, that nobody was willing to remove the body. Nobody would touch the body. Many times people would just fall dead, and the body would be left on the street just untouched and unburied. I mean, that's just disgusting. You would think they would have used a shovel or something. Like, come on. Anyway, so there were some thieves, hence the name, who stripped these bodies of their jewelry. They broke into the homes of the deceased, and they robbed from them, and they didn't ever get sick. When the king arrested them, one of the kings is believed to be, it's hard to know, was King James from, the King James Version of the Bible. He demanded their secret. So when he discovered these robbers, what he discovered is they were perfumers and spice traders, and they knew the protective properties of herbs and oils. And so they would use oils like clove, they would use cinnamon, they would use lemon, they'd use rosemary. Incidentally, one of the first mentions in scripture is myrrh, and it was traded, they traded Joseph to, some traders, the brothers, when they were trying to kill him, they said, oh, let's just sell him as a slave. And so they traded him for some myrrh and some other spices, which, little fun fact of history there. So they would use these types of oils, and they would put it in masks, and they would put it over their face. And then they would breathe this in. They would also suspend it in vinegar. If you Google thieves, the idea, you may come up with Young Living, depending on how much you research Young Living, but you very likely will come up with thieves vinegar. And this is what they're talking about. So they would use it in a suspension of vinegar, and they would take this vinegar and they'd rub it on their bodies. They would drink it, which I'm like, bleh. I mean, come on. I love clove, I love cinnamon and all that, but vinegar and no thanks. But hey, that's what they did. And hence the name Thieves for this blend. Thomas Jefferson, my history friends, he was said to have fancied a version that consisted of this type of vinegar spiked with lavender, rosemary, sage, rue, mint, and garlic to keep his presidential body infection-free. So I don't know if you guys ever knew that, but essential oils have been around for a long time. The value of these has been widely used. The plague was not the only issue that was treated with fragrances. In the 17th, 18th, and even into the 19th century, perfumes were widely used as remedies for almost any physical and mental disorder. There was one, I'm like, what is that? And so I have to read it to you. I think it's pronounced melancholia. And I'm like, what the heck is this? So it was just being sad, being melancholy. And I laugh that, now we call it, schizophrenia, or we put people on all various forms of medicine. When it's not, it's just a chemical imbalance. And just fragrances. These have been used since the beginning of time. And with the onset of modern medicine, all of these things have been done away with. So Thieves, our Thieves, was tested. This is just a test. I'm not treating, curing, diagnosing. I'm just reading to you a, Weber State University did this. It was tested against other things for its antimicrobial properties. And what was found is it had a 99.96% kill rate against airborne bacteria. Cinnamon specifically was tested alongside these, and they found huge benefits, that it was just as effective as penicillin and all these other things. And so I just think that's interesting that universities and people are testing these things now. They're going back to what it was before. So in Thieves, we've got rosemary. It is so popular for health benefits. You've got lemon. We mentioned before your body's natural ability to detox. Here's the thing, guys, is that just squeezing lemon in your water is great because lemon naturally detoxes. Using the rind is even better, which is where our oil comes from. It's just the rind. It's not very, though acidic in nature, once it gets into your body, it turns more alkaline, which if you know anything about keeping your body more in an alkaline state, very beneficial for your health. And then you have clove oil. Because I would like to put this video up on YouTube, I cannot tell you all the amazing benefits of clove on its own, but I will allude to that it's beneficial for amazing heart support, for all kinds of oral health. What was I going to say? Oh, it does have the property eugenol, which dentists use. That eugenol, they find it in nature and they synthetically make it, and that's what they use to numb your teeth when you're getting any kind of work done. Which is funny because if you ever put clove vitality oil on your mouth for anything, all of a sudden you're like, I'm talking like this and I can't really say much for a while because it's a bit numbing, and you can see that for yourself. I've done that with Thieves, just accidentally, kind of do this and put it in my hair or rub it on my feet or whatever, and then I go to wipe my face. I'm like, well, now my lips are kind of puffy and numb, but hey. Eucalyptus radiata. There are several different species of eucalyptus. Eucalyptus radiata is one of the most gentle oils that are eucalyptus species. It's great for respiratory support. It's great for immune support, all kinds of benefits from eucalyptus. Here's the thing. There are some amazing benefits from using the Thieves oil. It supports your digestion. Like I mentioned, it supports your immune system. It supports bone health, guys. You can look at the clove in there for that benefit, for the bone health. It helps you with healthy weight management. You've got cinnamon in there that helps. If you have chew on a little cinnamon stick, all of a sudden you're really not that hungry. It's really good for that. It's great for skincare to help support your healthy skin and smooth appearance. As we think about Thieves, and you've got, like we mentioned, toxins, and we mentioned all the things that we need to remove out of our home. Not only will you get non-hormone disrupting products, so you've got, toothpaste, mouthwash, dental floss, cough drops, lozenges, and mints for dental care. Then you've got a cleansing bar soap. You've got your hand purifier, not hand sanitizer. Hear me, it's a purifier. You have hand soap. Then you've got your household cleaner, your fruit and veggie wash, your dish soap, your dishwasher soap. Then you also have laundry soap, Thieves spray, and Thieves wipes. You have all these things. And not saying, you need to get all of those things, because quite frankly, I don't like bar soap, so I've never used cleansing bar soap. But maybe you do. Or maybe you're like, I don't use wipes. I'm never going to get that. But if you do use wipes or you do use bar soap, the option is there. And so you can remove toxins out of your home simply, super cost effective, and you can totally support your immune system as you're doing all the things. So as my kids are cleaning my kitchen, because that's their job, because they're my people, right? They're supporting their immune system. It's fabulous. As we're doing laundry, that Thieves oil is still in my clothes. We're supporting our immune systems. So guys, as you think about this, and now we hear about all the things that we can get out of our house, you get a double blessing anytime you use Thieves anything. Anytime your kid uses a hand purifier at school before lunch or after school, their immune system is being supported. Anytime you clean your house is getting clean and your hormones are not being disrupted. Anytime you brush your teeth, guys, your gums are getting some powerful, powerful support. I mean, I'm just going to say powerful again to you. My dentist in Texas, when we lived there, or the hygienist would always, she's like, oh, you use Thieves. I'm like, how did you know? She's like, because I can tell your gums look amazing. I'm like, well, thanks. Like, no one's ever said that to me before, right? You get a little shy and think, wow, I didn't know I had great gums. But it's true. She's like, I can always tell all my patients who use Thieves. So there's that. Like I mentioned, there's a huge list of Thieves products, about 20 of them, maybe 22, that you can dive into and start swapping it out. But here's the deal. If you are new to Young Living and you're like, oh, my friend's been telling me about oils, tell your friend, listen, you don't know anything. What I need is Thieves. There's a whole Thieves starter kit that you can get easy. $160, you get 2 Thieves house cleaners, you get a Thieves oil, you get toothpaste, you get 2 hand soaps, you get a mouthwash. I did mention mouthwash. Guys, you get so much, and you can just, at $160, just completely get everything out of your house. Everything out. Easy peasy. Done. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight.